Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning. Shake that fire. Wake your punk ass up.
Crust out your eyes.
Sway in the morning. Roots. 18 minutes into the hour. Is that John Legend on that?
Yeah, that's John Legend.
John Legend.
Yes.
Damn, man. Okay, so Questlove is here. Mo Better Blues is the book. Mo Meta Blues is the book. The World According to Questlove. And this is interesting because, you know, usually when you have a group and a band, the front man is usually the MC. You guys' dynamic is really interesting because you more or less have become the front man in a sense, the go-to guy. And a lot of people don't know your history. So you grew up in West Philly?
Grew up in West Philadelphia, yeah. But really, like, I grew up in show business. Like, my dad, if you remember Cadillac Records that came out, the movie with Beyonce and the story of Marshall Chess, Chess Records. Like, my dad recorded for that label in the late 50s. So he was a doo-wop singer. So by the time I was born 20 years later, that's when the first wave of nostalgia came aboard. So, I mean, you know, you had American Graffiti, Happy Days, Grease. Yeah. Like the teenagers of the 50s still have nostalgia, the same way that we have nostalgia about early hip hop. Yeah. So I grew up backstage in that kind of revival circle. So, you know, Dick Clark would throw at Madison Square Garden, like, you know, the Harvey and the Moonglows, Leandros and the Hearts, Rapperanda and the Delrons, like, you know, like just like hip hop. Yeah. You know, that's the backstage environment I grew up in. I didn't know, I thought that was everyone's experience. So, you know, I would come home and then start talking to my friends about, you know, light gels and what microphone techniques, and they just look at me like I was crazy. Like, what are you talking about? No, you know, when you sit in first class seat in a plane, and the peanuts are different than that, and you know, like my friends look at me like I was an alien on another planet. Like I just thought everyone had that experience, and probably the greatest trick. And I wonder, like, do parents do that now? Like, the greatest trick my father ever played on me was making me think that oldies was contemporary music. Wow. So, like, in first grade, you're supposed to bring your favorite 45 and your favorite record. You know, kids at the time, you know, kids are bringing in Disco Duck, Night Fever, like disco songs. I'm bringing in, like, Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers, like, Why Do Fools Fall in Love? Like, this is my favorite song. And, you know, my teacher's like, nah, this song's, like, from the 50s. Like, this is when I was a kid. So, I mean, I grew up thinking that oldies doo-wop music was the music of the day. Wow. Because my parents, like, took TV and radio away. But I grew up in a house with, like, 5,000 records. So, you know, most kids, when they don't have TV, they read a lot of books. Me, I just listen to a bunch of records.
And that's how your ear developed, right?
Yeah, so once, like, Nation of Millions comes out, I'm not listening to it as
Public Enemy, by the way. Public
I'm sorry,
Enemy. You gotta tell the whole story now.
I gotta contextualize it. I gotta contextualize it. Yeah, so once Public Enemy releases It Takes a Nation of Millions, an album that is crammed with my father's library, I'm hearing it as a Name That Tune thing. Like, oh, okay, that's David Bowie. Yeah. Oh, that's Funkadelic. Oh, that's James Brown. Oh, my dad got that record. Oh, my dad got that song. Oh, my dad, you know, so that's how it sort of came full circle. And then, I don't know. I mean, by that time I was going to performing arts school with Tariq. Yeah. New York's version of LaGuardia, or I know that's not a local show, but the idea of a performing arts school.
Just like, you know, Jimmy Fallon stage.
Exactly.
Just like the radio Jimmy Fallon right here, man. We're global here. Come on, man. We're global too. Come on, Quest. All right.
So pretty much, I mean, that's my story in a nutshell. I grew up in West Philly, but I really grew up in hotels and backstage.
And on the road. Now, were the drumsticks the first instruments you picked up, or?
All right, so long story short, my birth doctor was also studying to be a child psychologist. So my parents were like bohemian artsy parents, and they were also like post-militant part of it. You know, it was like the late 60s, early 70s. That's when they got together. My birth doctor told my mom, like, yo, like, he was curious as to whether or not my father's interest in music would pass along to me. Yeah. He was curious to see how that bridge, you would cross that bridge. And so he told my mom, like, yo, like, whatever he wants to do, let him find his creativity. So If he wants to make mud pies out of his spaghetti, if he wants to draw on the walls, if he wants to destroy furniture, let him do it. Now, you know, in a black household, you ain't supposed to do that. You know, the plastic covering and all that stuff. So they pretty much let me destroy the furniture. Yeah. And they kind of had to reel it home once I started breaking stuff. So, like, by 3, I got, like, a drum set. You got a drum set. I wasn't destroying plates and
to protect
lamps.
the house. So that's how you got the drumsticks, because they wanted to protect the house.
Exactly.
Questlove from The Roots is here. A lot of people worldwide know you from being the band for Jimmy Fallon. We known you before that, but we're all so proud of you guys that, you know, you got on that show, and now it's growing to the Tonight Show, right?
Yes, the Tonight Show is coming to us.
That's what's up.
People want to know, are we going to L.A.? No. The Tonight Show is coming back to New York City.
That's the biggest.
In February.
Yeah, you are now a part of Night Show history, the biggest brand
I know
ever. You know, before Johnny Carson, you know.
Doc Severinsen and Questlove.
Yeah, exactly.
And all stops in, you know, Branford and, you know, Kevin.
Yeah.
And everyone else. It's I mean, not even be careful for what you ask for. I think that's the one lesson I've learned in life.
Yeah.
One, be prepared for anything and be careful for what you ask for. Because I definitely didn't have grand designs of anything that I'm doing now. Like, I didn't teaching at NYU or the restaurant or any of that other stuff. Like, I just, you know, it just, things happen every day, and sometimes you have to take opportunity. Most people kind of sabotage it.
Yeah.
A lot of people do self-sabotage things. When good things happen, they'll find a way to ruin it.
Yeah.
I'm learning to embrace stuff, you know, because in the beginning when we were offered it, I too was like a naysayer, like, oh man, I can't do that, man. We look like suckers on TV. Like, how are we going to look? And, you know, once I came off the ledge and had someone talk me off it, and it's like, yo, there's opportunity. And we did it. And sure enough, like, we thought it was a retirement gig, but actually, I'll say that we're doing more now in this stage of our career than we've ever done
before, right?
In the first 18 years of our career.
Wow. Questlove is here, ladies and gentlemen.
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shade 45.